Hey people, Injured here, 3v3, Argus Desert Gates, blue team, whole bunch of Space Marines. First up is TeRRaN219 as a Techmarine, starts out range combat, puts out some good damage, but also support with structures and repair, and wade into melee alongside Nod is a Force Commander, very good offense fight in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt and support with buffs. And rounding off all three Space Marine commanders, we have Paige as an Apothecary support commander that fights in melee combat by default, begins with a targeted heal and a passive health regeneration aura. Red team, couple of Tyranid players. First up is Manu as a Lictor Alpha, a melee specialist that can infiltrate and disrupt with some awesome offense and a little bit of support too. The other Tyranid player is ig0r. ig0r plays a Ravener Alpha, tunneling commander with awesome offense, begins in range combat and can support a little bit too. Double termagants of both the Tyranid players, and alongside them is Dandalus, is a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive commander, lots of great manipulation and control abilities and some powerful offense too. Looks like this is the Word Bearers DLC. Are they going to meet mid? No, Dandalus going straight to the east side. I always push mid first on this map. Always nice to have those two central points, and then you can float out to the east and help your ally out if they need it. 2-1 cap early on for the blue team, having taken this contested early. Lictor Alpha being pretty passive there. Usually see Lictors being quite aggressive early on, pushing forward, getting that hook, but he's actually waiting for his ally, and he might get flanked pretty badly here by Nod, unless Dandalus can do some work there to force him off. Shotgun blast on the Hormagaunts. In the background there you see double termagants trying to shoot down tactical marines in the heavy cover of that wall there. And a full retreat out, I think, for Manu, so Dandalus is going to need to be careful. Some Tzeetnch worship going off, as you can see. CSM getting a bit too close. Crack on bolts from those tactical marines of Paige, doing extra damage to heavy infantry armor for 10 seconds. That's their starting ability. And full retreat for the red team. Blue team can get a little bash here and cap it all up. Nicely done for them. Manu pushed ahead a bit too far off Dandalus, got caught between two players. Dandalus couldn't quite do enough to force off one of them. Not easy to force off double Space Marines. Quiet on the west side. Ravener Alpha comes mid to cap up. Meanwhile, blue team are going to take down the Sorcerer, I think. Force Commander trying to get the last hit, and I think it was actually a bolt pistol that took down the Sorcerer. Should easily be able to be revived there. Now, is that worth it? Taking down a commander there. I think you get 500 XP for taking down a commander, but of course it's split, and the enemy commander that revives him will get all of the XP, 500 of it I think, to revive. There's a hell of a lot anyway. I think commanders maybe should give a little bit more XP for going down, and more red as well. They only have a good 30 red, which is pretty damn low, especially if they're leveled up. I'm not sure if it's possible to make the red and the XP they give scale with their level. That would be pretty cool. 500 to 410. Now we have Lictor Alpha, who's very nearly level 2, all because he revived the Sorcerer, who's busy capping back there. Havoc's in play. Worship, down goes the Force Commander. Good little push for red team. Look at this, the Ravener Alpha coming across to help out. There are the purification vials from the Apothecary. Also has his customized Storm Bolt and hits level 2. Barb Strangle Warriors for ig0r. You saw those Raveners from Manu. They do have their Devourers. Makes them into a pretty powerful range squad. It only costs 15 power as well. Really good unit right now, Raveners, I think. Tactical Marines on capping duty. Might run into some chaos stuff if Dandalus pushes across. What is he up to? Oh, he's coming to sort out these double scouts. Both of them with shotguns. I guess the shotgun blast was on cooldown. He used both of them on those Tyranids, I think, so he couldn't knock back those Havocs. And maybe he should have forced the melee combat there. Dandalus with those double CSM could have finished off that squad that got low. Meanwhile, east side, red team pushing forward, bashing gens too. Red team have good armies on the field, solid armies. Double termagants into Barb Strangler Warriors, double termagants into ranged Raveners, and double CSM into Havocs. No sign of snipers for Paige. No, he's going double shotguns like TeRRaN did. Nod with some Assault Marines on the field. can jump on the ranged blobs of the red team. Needs help from Paige to follow it up, especially that Apothecary heal. Going to be important to use it on those Assault Marines when they need it. 466, 492, and it can be tricky to use that heal ability on your allies, since you have to target the model itself. You can't use it on your portrait icons down the right side of the screen, which is unfortunate. Ravener Alpha pushing this west side. Look, they've double genned this contested power. Ballsy move from TeRRaN. He does have a turret, but it's not far enough forward to stop the bash. It might stop them capping it, or at least dissuade them from doing so. Here comes a Sorcerer. Got out of the Ravener tunnel there. Another Ravener tunnel allowing ig0r to get in behind the Space Marines, and that is a painful amount of range damage on those tactical marines. You saw the big burst of damage that the Barb Strangler does. It really is a cool weapon, this thing. 451, 384. Down goes the tunnel. Not before double CSM got out of it though. And TeRRaN might be in a little bit of trouble. These scouts can't use grenades. Down goes the Techmarine. These guys should now be forcing melee combat. Instead, they are taking down the turret. And now surely they can do so. Don't try and outshoot the scouts at that much health. He might lose the CSM, and does lose them. Massive, massive misplay from Dandalus. Those shotguns are doing some serious piercing damage at close range there. East side, meanwhile, blue team are pushing through. So red team pushing west. They need to get that power bash there. Put everything into that power bash, because they just got bashed again here. CSM are decapping the wreck point. Are they going to be able to finish the power bash before TeRRaN gets back out onto the field? Even if he does get back out onto the field, can he stop this bash? It should be the warriors that are capping and the CSM bashing, but in fact they're leaving the scene to go over to the middle. Here comes TeRRaN's double scouts and tactical marines. Whirlwind is on the way. Blood Crusher coming up from Dandalus. Got its cost reduced in 2.4 down to 250 rec, 60 power. And I wonder if we'll see the Adrenal Glands Warriors with their cool new synapse feedback mechanic. That's not the official name for it, that's just what I call it. Where they get extra damage for every Termagant and Hormagant that's around them. It's pretty cool. Hopefully we'll see it. You can swap out of the Barb Strangler into Adrenal Glands, though it's an expensive upgrade path. Barb Strangler is 25 power. Havocs are gonna set up. Yes, they are. Those guys have a grenade though. Here comes the Blood Crusher. Did they spot it before it got worshipped there? There it is, charging. Breaking stuff in amongst the scouts, and the tactical marines can now turn around and start doing damage. He needs to follow it up though. He's got nothing to follow it up with. Where's the rest of his army? CSM back at base, of course, lost the other one to those scouts, which was a massive misplay. 451, 281. Whirlwind now coming to play, and look at that. Disrupted the entire Tyranid army from behind two walls. Zone throat now for Manu. Tier 2 for Nod. Paige is still in Tier 1. What has he gotten? He replaced some scouts. He's got 2 tactical marines. Down goes the Force Commander again. He's almost level 4. We've got some synapse explosions going off. It's a 1-to-1 cap right now. There's the 2-to-1 for blue. They've taken their natural back, but red team are decapping the contested now. Pain from the purification vials. Venom Brood almost wiping out 49 hit points. Messy engagement, but looks like the red team just about come out on top thanks to the Lictor Alpha now decapping that natural VP. Blood Crusher being taught a lesson by this melter gun. This thing is painful. 41 DPS melter, and it has 100% accuracy on the move, I believe. You can of course buff that damage by getting the Signum armor as well, not to mention mark target that comes along with it. Is he going to follow it up with a missile launcher? That's 40 power to dump on one. Looks like he's going for a dreadnought instead. That's a good choice. Apothecary's level 5. Those purification vials doing work, killing models. There's the zone throat. Now having to bash its power back. Blood Crusher venturing towards the west side to see what's going on. Force Commander with a Thunderhammer, that's what's going on. And Artificer Armor. We've got Assault Squad with Sergeant, but no Melter Bomb yet. Thunder and Lightning is not in play. Havoc's repositioning, lots of repositioning going on, while the red team try to take back that power, but they cannot. Double Shotgun Scouts doing work for Paige. He doesn't have a... Oh, now he does. Venom Brood are spotters. Manu did not have any detectors on the field, but here comes ig0r to help out. Like the way he's moving to this east side to support whenever he can. 407, 263. Tactical Marine's getting a sergeant there for Paige. Tier 3 for Dandalus. He's got a good amount of requisition, doesn't have the power to get anything tasty like a tank. 2 dreadnoughts now to deal with for the red team. Dandalus could get a las cannon on his Havocs. We have double Venom Broods and a Zone Throat. The Ravener Alpha also has his Corrosive Devourer, which has some anti-vehicle properties. Lictor Alpha with no war gear whatsoever, but can they deal with 2 dreadnoughts? They might need that las cannon. Here's the second dreadnought. This is Nods in its default melee state. TeRRaN219 is getting its multi-melter. Awesome, I love this thing. Usually people will go for the assault cannon because it has awesome range and the barrage is fantastic. But that multi-melter helps you bleed stuff really well, especially with support. You've got to keep stuff close to this dreadnought. Tie things up quickly. And just help it out. Help it push. This dreadnought is running into all sorts of problems. Look at the damage to it from the Venom Brood and the Corrosive Devourer. Here comes some support. A little bit late when it gets there, and he's completely forced ig0r off the field. Takes out the warriors here. Venom Brood get away with 8 hit points. That was a mistake. They should have finished that guy off. Manu now needs to try and hold against 2 players. Needs to be very cautious here. Not to mention a dreadnought in the mix. 407, 239. More Venom Brood this time for ig0r and Plague Marines for Dandalus. So the anti-vehicle is starting to drip out. Dandalus is in tier 3 as well, so might see a nuke soonish. He's on 347 hit points. Zeal or red even hit points. 407, 239. Push from the Thunderhammer. How do you stop that thing? He used the crippling poison, but he's only got 1 termagant to do that. Really need to focus fire down that Force Commander immediately, I think. Because if he gets in your blob with that Thunderhammer as Tyranids, you're in serious amounts of trouble. Blue team looking incredibly strong now. Look at the map. Vengeance rounds loaded in from Stone Guard veterans doing damage to that Blood Crusher. Missile launchers being tied up. Here come Heretics to tie up the Stone Guard veterans. A Doom Blast goes off. Blood Crusher gets a model. Heretics need to be careful here though. They're taking huge amounts of shotgun damage, and there's a drop from TeRRaN219. It's more Tactical Marines. The Techmarine not close enough to drop his ability drop pod, which just reinforces. That's the global one, which drops Tactical Marines as well. Blood Crusher lives. Now they should destroy this drop pod. Kicking off on the east side though. Dreadnought goes down. Capillary Tower in play. And looks like they're finally retaking those points and pushing back against the Space Marines. Wow, Techmarine went down super fast there, TeRRaN219. It's a lot of range damage. There's a hell of a lot of range damage. They have range synapse, 3 Venom Broods, Raveners, Termagants, the Ravener Alpha itself, and a 2 Zone Throats even. Wow, ranged blob of doom. Maybe get some more Assault Marines up, Nod. He's floating like absolute crazy. He's getting a plasma cannon, in fact. That'll do a good job too. Ravener Tunnel very far forward there. The red team pushing back well. They are going to concede that west side, it looks like, because they're all over on the east. He should be much more aggressive here, pushing towards this power and bashing it. Big mistake, I think, from TeRRaN. 394-205. Wow, Multimelter doing an amazing job versus those garrison units. No, I had no idea it was so good. Its shots not modified by cover, perhaps. So 1-to-1. Apothecary just about gets away. Where's the flesh hook? Not needed. Goes down to just a big range burst of green stuff. Tier 3 now for ig0r. Nod is still floating like crazy. Not sure what he's up to. Has 500 wed, 1,000 rec, 200 pound. He's not going tier 3. There's a jump. Surely you got to go tier 3, get some Terminators up. Or a Land Raider. Thunderhammer Force Commander doing work in amongst the Tyranids. Merciless Strike does well, but the Assault Marines are forced off, and that is a flank from TeRRaN coming in with Shotgun Blast, Dreadnought with Multi-Melter, and a big messy engagement for the red team. They really got pinned back onto these stairs and hit from both sides. Last Cannon Predator for Dandalus with the mark on Tzeetnch. 394-188 has the obvious range advantage compared to the Dreadnought, and Plague Marines now coming into play. Plague Marines are trying to chase that Dreadnought, I think. Chaos Predator doesn't seem to want to push. These guys both have plasma guns, so it should be able to push relatively unscathed. Lictor Alpha jumps in, has the Corrosive Claws and a deadly jump, as you just saw. Can he finish off those scouts? Where's the hook? There we go. The hook, of course, changed for 2.4. Now does less damage out the gate for the Lictor Alpha, but scales according to level. I think it's down to 115 damage at level 1. But will scale up according to the melee damage modifiers as he levels. Down goes the Lictor Alpha. Tier 3 for everyone now, apart from Paige. Nod finally goes. He's going to get into tier 3 with 1200 requisition and 130 power. Does he save for a Land Raider Redeemer here? Look at this blob of Tyranids. This is nasty. 393-181. The Lictor Alpha should get pheromones, surely. No sign of it yet. Maybe he wants the menacing Visage to make the Assault Marines run away and stuff. Tier 3 now for Paige. Everyone's tier 3 or going. Predator tank gets repairs and is back out into the field. Red team dominating the mid. They have both the natural VPs. It's up to the blue team to push now. They're holding the east side. There's a drop pod. Plasma cannon. Tactical Marines with plasma guns need to focus on the Warrior Broods and Venom Broods. Get those Synapse explosions going. This is a massive blob of Tyranids here. Are they gonna push? What are they up to? Let them come, says the red team. Peeking forward is Manu. Maybe they're... Surely they're gonna drop Terminators in the next engagement. Well, Nod in a way. Unless he really is wanting that Land Raider Redeemer up. Down goes this tunnel. This might be an insane engagement here. 347-181. Apothecary pushes forward momentarily to throw his Purification Vials to very little effect. Threw them on Plague Marines. Dreadnought with their Multi-Melter is almost level 2. Another whirlwind for TeRRaN. Looks like red team are getting impatient and are going to push up the stairs. Don't do it. Just stay where you are. It drops a Tyranids formation, and there's a Tzeetnch nuke from Dandalus. Taking out a bunch of plasma cannon models, I believe. Ouch, and takes out an Assault Marine also. I think that was a Sergeant. 322-181. Red team looking pretty strong in the middle, and TeRRaN just lost almost his entire army. Down to a Dreadnought, and now a Whirlwind on the way. Purification Vials. Dodged. for the most part, yes. And then a bunch of Chaos stuff runs right into it. 314, 181. Blue team in serious trouble now. They just did not want to push. Did not like what they saw hanging around in mid. Carnifex on the way for Manu. Double whirlwinds for Tyranids. Really going for that disruption. Submarine with a jump. Can they get some synapse bombs to go off in here? Go after those zone throats, surely. There we go. There's a zone throat there, low on health, he's not going after it. All that stuff was forced off. Force Commander is still in play. And somehow, blue team are taking red team's natural. A full retreat out from ig0r because of a purification vials, really? Just stay in there. You can tough that out, I think. Blue team have this VP. How has that happened? 314, 177. TeRRaN recovers with double whirlwinds. Assault Terminator is called in by Nod. Get those claws up, I think, and just go ballistic on the Tyranids. Down goes a zone throw immediately. Here's a Carnifex. What are we going to see from this guy? Carnifex have awesome upgrades. Assault Terminator is now being shot at by a twin Lascannons. They don't like it, so they're backing away. Look at this tunnel up here. Blue team still have the east locked down. Is this guy leveled yet? No. Librarian for Nod to support his Assault Terminators. Can be a lot more aggressive with them when you know you have the Gate of Infinity ready to use. Cyclone Missile Launcher up on Paige's Terminators. Wasted, I think. 314, 159. Carnifex going for Thornback. Takes it up to 1650 hit points. Gives it a charge, and it can drop Rippers now. Might as well just drop them now and send them up here to see what's going on. It's a single cap for blue. Not sure how they're doing this, but they have managed to decap both the naturals, actually taken their own natural back. It's Vanguard veterans on capping duty there. ig0r is split from the rest of his teammates and is trying to push this east side. Red team are looking so strong. Letting this slip away. Cyclone Missile Launcher on retreating stuff doesn't do a whole lot. These scouts have been really annoying from Paige. Now infiltrated with their shotguns and sergeants. Force Commander just leveled up. I think he's level 6 now. As the teleport allows him to get straight into those Tyranid lines and wreck stuff. 314, 121. Blue team get their natural back. They have a double. Look at the armies the red team have. How are they losing these VPs so easily? Scouts tanking damage under infiltration there, but they are persuaded to leave eventually. Red team now getting blue team's natural back. There we go. Turret going up from TeRRaN. It's only decapped under Tzeetnch infiltration there. Could be a really pivotal engagement around this VP. Need to shoot down this turret quickly. Double whirlwinds ready to strike from the top there as well. Look at that range. Demon armor goes up. Plague Marines might try and cap with it, but in fact they're trying to shoot down the turret. Thornback Carnifex goes after the Dreadnought, and this multi-melter Dreadnought will not have melee resistance, so it can't really stand up to a Carnifex, a Thornback that is, in a melee fight. No way. And down it goes. Thornback leading a line. Looks like it charged was bugged there, or rather blocked by the wall or something, and didn't follow through. Down goes a turret, down goes the Techmarine. Good little push by the red team. Subjugated Assault Terminators here. Wow, tearing through those Vanguard veterans. Subjugated units, of course, cannot take any damage, and they do 25% more damage, I believe. Drop pod, is that a venerable? Please be a venerable. Yes. 30271. Blue team are holding on to the VPs, and they're going off the red team's natural here. It's Terminators on capping treaty. Nicely done by Paige. Red team distracted on this VP and getting their natural capped. But look at this now. Hormagaunts are going to get absolutely wrecked by turrets And plasma cannon. Boom. Trying to formation goes off. Looks like it took down one of the whirlwinds, but the other survives. Venerable goes down. That stoicism gives it increased damage and constant inspiration for the last 10 seconds of its life. Down it goes. Okay, red team now flanking around on this east side. Bad news for that plasma cannon and this turret. And Paige is straight up sitting on red team's natural VP. So 1-1, 302 to 62. Red team need to be careful. They've got a lot of VPs to make up here. TeRRaN going for yet another whirlwind. Loses his other one. He's now got absolutely nothing on the field. Swarmlord on the way for Manu. Turret is doing work, keeping his stuff locked down. They can't shoot at it when they're suppressed, but down it goes eventually. Plasma cannon now getting shots in. Ouch. Ravener's tunnel on them. And they are forced to retreat. Down goes a drop pod, and they are retaking the east side. But can someone dislodge Paige here? 302-62. Nod has enough for a nuke. Swarmlord almost hitting the field. Got a damage buff in 2.4. Not a huge one, but will help it smack stuff around. Doesn't do splash damage, of course, the Swarmlord. All single target smacks, but does have the amazing Blade Flurry ability, or whatever it's called, which is just so fun to use. 294-62. Look at the resources for the red team. Dandalus has enough for anything, but he's not purchasing anything. So does ig0r. So maybe ig0r wants to get another monstrous creature and doesn't have the population to get one. Dandalus subjugates himself some Terminators. Now these guys are going to get shot down because he probably used their teleport. A heal from the Apothecary trying to keep them alive, but they are being chased. No, they're not being chased by the Predator tank. Just told to get off their lawn and left alone. 2-1 cap for red team. A lot of VPs to make up still though, and blue team are right back on that east side, as you can see from the minimap. TeRRaN with just a whirlwind. Nod and Paige doing an amazing job just to keep themselves in this game. I don't think red team realise that TeRRaN lost everything. Assault Terminators, Vanguard Veterans, and a Librarian to support them. Here they go. He's kept them with their hammers, which will help them greatly against the Carnifex. So this thing does have melee resistance, as does the Swarmlord. Is he going to use the Blade Flurry? Nope. Vanguard Veterans in retreat. Not sure if it's worth using it on Terminators. I suppose you might as well. What else are you going to do here? Use the Blade Flurry. He's not using it. 279-60. That was the Orbs of the Omnissiah to disable the Carnifex. They're still attacking. Does Orbs not work on Carnifexes? I'm not even sure. I always forget if it works on Carnifexes or not. Didn't seem to affect the Swarmlord. 279-60. Bunch of Tyranids coming over to the east side. Whirlwind number 4, I think it is, from TeRRaN, driving away cautiously. Lictor Alpha on capping duty at level 4. Down goes a Techmarine. Swarmlord now hitting the field for ig0r. And Dandalus is not purchasing anything whatsoever. What's he doing? He's down to 60 VPs. Buy some. I guess not. 272-60. Red team now going for that triple cap, or at least a double. Oh, Raveners get owned. That's freed up some population for ig0r though. Could get another Carnifex up now, or maybe a Doom of Malachite, or Neurothroat as it's called now, of course. 260-60, 200 VPs to make up. Can they do it? Looks like they should be able to, because TeRRaN has just lost too much stuff. He goes for double plasma cannons to recover here, or try to recover. They need to keep the pressure up on that east side. As hard as it is, ouch. Tactical Marines just obliterated. As hard as it is, Don't try and fight them in the middle here. In a 3v3 fight, surely they're just going to get decimated. Paige is down to 2 squads, but has loads of resources. Is it too late though to recover? Ouch, Terminator's getting obliterated now. Not sure what he was trying to achieve, teleporting them in there. Orbital, don't think it's going to be enough. Surely red team have this. It's theirs to lose. Only if they completely screw up are they not going to win this. There's the orbs again, which didn't seem to affect the Swarm Lord. It did drain its energy a bit, but not all of it. It's supposed to drain all of it, isn't it? I'm not sure. Not actually sure if that's a bug or it just doesn't affect monstrous creatures. 186, 60. Swarm Lord doesn't finish off that plasma cannon. I don't actually use Swarm Lords that much myself. They're awesome, don't get me wrong, but the flexibility of Carnifexes and the Neurothrope are just amazing tier 3 options. What are these scouts up to? Going for red team's natural, I'd imagine. Something being dropped in to support them. It's some more Terminators. 182, 60. Force Commander doing work to the end. He's level 7. But Tyranids, once they get their specialized synapses up, buffing their health, and start leveling, they become pretty damn durable. 172, 60. Subjugated Terminators again. Forced to teleport. Paige is gonna get the cat, is he? Surely not. Ravener's knocked them off it. Scouts might now be taken out. Yes, they will. Terminator's in all sorts of trouble. 159, 60 is a single cat for red. They have blue team's natural, but I think they're going to get a triple now, because blue team just cannot hold any ground against them. You have nothing to hold with. Now we have the middle of Argus almost completely destroyed. Just a massive battlefield now. No shot blockers, nothing, so you can just go to town with range units. 140, 60. A triple cap for red now. Surely this is going to see out the game. Some Chaos Terminators for Dandalus. Finally got something on the field. Still floating huge amounts of resources. But he doesn't have the population to get anything to... Oh, he can. He can get a Predator tank. Can even get a Phobos, I think, with that pop. I think a Phobos is 21. Not entirely sure, though. Devastator is immediately forced to retreat there from Paige. And look at the map, it's all red, apart from a couple of natural wreck points and the natural power over there. Plasma cannons, not enough to deter the swarm of Tyranids here. Now protected by the demon armor thing. What is it called? Demonic shield. Demon armor thing. Also has the rod of warp fire, and there is the concede from the blue team. They fought valiantly, but the losses from TeRRaN were just too difficult to recover from. Too many whirlwinds. When you lose 2 whirlwinds, it's probably... I mean, they're good and everything, but they're not surviving, so get someone else. When you had 2 up here, it was pretty awesome until they got hit by that tornado formation. Look at heroes end of the game. Techmarine level 4 with the melter gun, signal armor, and orbs, which didn't do a whole lot for them. Not sure if that thing is bugged. Disable vehicles, it says vehicles, so I guess it just doesn't work on monstrous creatures, and it burns 100 energy, so that was certainly working. Level 7 Force Commander with Hammer, Artificer, and Teleporter Pack. Apothecary level 10, customized Stormbolter, combat stims, and improved medical equipment. Was actually getting Armor of the Apothecary at the end. Linked to Alpha level 5, Corrosive Claws, Deadly Jump. Sorcerer level 4, Rod of Warp Fire, Demon Armor, and the Tome of Subjugation, and a level 9 Ravener Alpha, doing so much damage with the Corrosive Devourer. Also had the Synapse Aura for damage. There you have it, guys. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.